using it until now because I wasn't sure how to use them or how to even calculate them. So now I embraced Alur Badar after switching to Siddhanta. So we'll start doing that in the class and see if it makes better sense in some examples. We can't explain otherwise. Okay. So take Swami Vivekananda's chart. If you look at the chart in your computer, among the charts that come with the software, it should be there, like Aadhaar the software, Brahmantra. So the data, just for those who are listening to the audio, is 1863, January 12, 6:33 a.m. The time zone is actually local field time, so 5 hours 54 minutes east of GMT. The place is 88 degrees 30 minutes east, 22 degrees 40 minutes north. Now the thing is, some people believe that this time is not local field time but standard time, so they take the Capricorn Lagna for this chart. But the thing is, if you look at the personality of Vivekananda, you see how he moves, the facial features, the way he stands, the overall life, you know that he is Sagittarius, and he's definitely not Capricorn Lagna. So we will take this time. Let's see his career, his details, right? In the details, he didn't have any active career, right? He was looking for a job. He found a small job. He worked in it for a while. He took care of his sisters and mother after his father died, of course. And then he left it. He basically never really had a good career, stable career. But once he went to Chicago, suddenly he became world famous, across the US, famous in the world, famous back in India. Until then he was a nobody. Once he went to Kashi, he wanted to debate with the scholars there. They said, "You are a nobody, we don't want to debate with you, get lost." He was so mad at them. But the thing is, they didn't listen to him. They said, "This guy knows nothing, why should we allow him here? We are all great scholars." But the thing is, once he came to Chicago and became famous, he went back to Kashi. The same scholars made him sit on a nice Hasan, they did puja to him, they praised him and all that. Basically, there's a big change in his work and career as soon as 1893 happened. So there will be something very big happening as far as the Dashamsha is concerned. So let's look at Dashamsha. Are there any yogas in Dashamsha for fame? Jupiter, Moon, Venus. Yeah, there is Gatyasri Yoga in Kendra, right? And the thing is, it also involves Jupiter, Venus and Moon are there. Are they close? Jupiter, if you look at the longitudes, Moon is at 18 degrees, 17.5, Jupiter at 26.5, so Venus at 23.5. So Jupiter and Venus are very close, right? Divisional longitudes, 3 D10 divisional longitudes. Moon and Jupiter are Venus and Jupiter are very close. Moon is not too far away. Moon is also within a reasonable distance. So the bottom line is there is a powerful Gatyasri Yoga and also 10th Lord, 5th Lord conjunction, right? Yeah. Jupiter is the 5th Lord and Venus is the 10th Lord, right? So there is a Raj Yoga between the two planets. Of course, Venus is a benefit. Venus is not a functional benefit. Venus is a functional benefit and Moon is a neutral and Jupiter is a benefit. That is basically the overall picture. But the thing is, involving a benefit, there is a powerful Raj Yoga and they are so close. The other factor is, what about A5?
Why do you get Gatyasri Yoga, Jupiter, Moon, Venus are together for you?
Yeah. In detail.
Why are they not for me? Their Moon is in Tula for me.
What was the data? 6:33?
Yeah.
Time? 5:54 east of GMT time zone?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is 4.51 though. So we
Just
should make the difference. 7.51 we should make.
Yeah. You are using the Susan, you are not using the Susan. Siddhanta I also get the same thing. So preferences related to calculation.
Okay. That is what it is.
Set calculation option segmented by answer or explicitly select Susan.
That's it.
Then you will get more in the
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
No. There is Gatyasri Yoga. Moreover, we use.
Correct.
Now, look at the Arun Badal. Where is A5?
A5 is the same as Scorpio.
A5 is a Scorpio, right? So these planets are basically in A5.
A5 is in Scorpio in D10?
Yeah.
Okay, not in this. Okay.
Yeah, again, for that you will have to do what I said at the beginning.
That I did in the beginning. Okay, with
when you said
right. So,
recommended by author, it may be not.
correct.
Because preferences recommended by author needs to be cleaned up. Arupada is not included there because I never spoke on it.
Okay,
Okay, you get A5 in Scorpio now?
correct.
Okay. So, you see that Moon, Venus and Jupiter, they are all Scorpio. But the thing is, if you actually look at the longitude, there is a second house from A5. But the thing is, planets in the second house from A5 can feed it. So the thing, bottom line is, these planets who are giving a Raj Yoga, they also happen to be in A5. Actually, not only A5. Do you see where AL is? Arudha Lagna? It is also there only. Actually, AL and A5 are very close. AL is at 4 degrees Scorpio, A5 is at 6 degrees Scorpio. Right? So Arudha Lagna and the Arudha Pada of the 6th house are together in the Dashamsa. So like we used to say earlier, conjunction of A9, A10 or AL, A9, AL, A5, these are all like Rajogas in a material way. So basically AL is his image, A5 is his frame. So there is they are very different, very close. So bottom line is that means the person will be famous. And in the same Arudha there is a Rajoga from Lagna. Lord and 10th Lord are together. And there is Gajgesri Yoga. All these basically, Gajgesri Yoga itself is capable of making somebody a famous person. 6th Lord, 10th Lord Raj Yoga itself is capable of making somebody a famous person. On top of it, AL and A5 are also right there. So clearly, this is a very powerful chart as far as frame is concerned. And now look at the Dasha. What is the Dasha we should apply in this chart? What is the Dasha we should apply in this chart? See, Lagna is not Vargottama, it just misses Vargottama. Lagna doesn't contain Sun. Lagna Lord is not in the 7th or 7th Lord, not in Lagna.
When you're putting this, you're seeing with respect to Rasi and this.
No, with respect to Dashamsa. Make Dashamsa as Lagna here.
Then when you're seeing Vargottama, where will you see Vargottama just in the Samsa?
Yeah. So what our interpretation is that to see the applicability of Shatabrati Dasha, to see Lagna is in Vargottama, we take Dashamsa as Rasi. And then you can see further Navamsa.
Half of that, okay.
In Dashamsa,
Yeah.
D9 of D10.
D9 of
D9
D10.
of D10.
Yeah, okay.
So basically longitude of Lagna in D10 has to be between 1320 and 1640. Then it will be in Vargottama.
Right. Okay.
So a lot of people giving lot of importance to Navamsa among all Amshas because that is seen in a lot of places in Parasha, right? He gives a lot of importance to Navamsa. Most of the time he is talking about the main chart and the Navamsa. So but the thing is, in the beginning he mentioned all these charts and that carried in the Samsa, expression is 24, etc. Later he is mostly talking about Rasi Navamsa. So that has led people to think that Rasi and Navamsa are the only chart. But what we are saying is, okay, what it means is Rasi and Navamsa with respect to all these charts. You can find Navamsa in all these charts. So if you are seeing education, D24 is the main chart. You can take that as the Rasi and find Navamsa, and those two are the key charts to see the education. Now, so none of the special 10th Lord is not in 10th, Lagna Lord not in 7th, 7th Lord not in Lagna. So none of the special conditions apply. So Ashtotri Dasha, the thing is, Lagna Lord, Sun and Rahu are in Kendras. But if you look at the longitude, Sun is at 25 degree Virgo, Rahu is at 2 degree Pisces. So the distance is, even though it seems to be in the 7th house, is 23 degree 7. So it's not really in the 7th house. So we don't use Ashtotri Dasha. So either Vishwatri or Shortotri, the standard basic Dasha. So Lagna is 17 degree Leo, meaning moon hora. Second half of a male sign will be moon hora. So moon hora, Krishna. So that will be Shortotri. So use the Shortotri Dasha of Dashamsa. So if you do that, Shortotri Dasha of Dashamsa, which Dasha made it famous?
Can you just repeat that logic one more time?
Yeah.
You used Shodasotari because? Of course, that's no logic.
Lagna is 17 degree Leo, right? In Dashamsa.
Correct.
So that will be Chandrahara or Suryahara. It is the second half of the male.
Second half.
In male sign, first half will be Samhara, second half will be Chandrahara. In female sign, first will be Chandrahara, then will be Suryahara. Right?
So this will be Suryahara.
No, Chandrahara. Because this is a male sign.
This is a male sign.
Leo is an odd sign, right?
Leo is odd signs or male signs of
Male sign, sun comes first.
sun comes first or moon. Okay.
So 17 Leo is second half after 15. So Chandrahara.
Okay.
Chandrahara, Krishnapaksha. The rule is Chandrahara, Shuklapaksha is Munchot. Suryahara, Krishnapaksha is Munchot. The opposite. In Chandrahara, there is full Shuklapaksha mentioned. Chandrahara, when Chandra is full. Then Munchotri. Suryahara, Krishnapaksha. That is Munchotri, but there is an exception. It is from Andhra. Munchotri is started from Andhra. Other two cases, Suryahara, Shuklapaksha, and Chandrahara, Krishnapaksha. That is short. These are the guidances from long term. Parashara also, but Parashara did not talk about the exception in the case of Vishwatri. He didn't even give the conditions for Vishwatri. He made Vishwatri generic, and Short Sotri he gave the two conditions that you mentioned. Longasa basically made Vishwatri and Short Sotri mutually exclusive, and in Vishwatri he gave two variants. So we are following Longasa. So Short Sotri Dasha applied. Which Dasha as per Short Sotri Dasha made him famous?
Krishnapaksha because of the moon is in
Not Krishnapaksha, Shuklapaksha.
the moon Vara is Krishnapaksha, right?
Yeah. Krishnapaksha, you can see the Tithi from the natal chart. Because Tithi is Krishnapaksha. Now, Ketu Dasha was running from 1988 to 1903. It was during the Ketu Mahadasha that he became famous. In Ketu Dasha, he became famous. Does it make sense? Can Ketu give him fame?
Ketu is a dispositor of
Ketu is a dispositor of?
There's a lot of that house Scorpion.
Yeah.
One lot of the Scorpion is dispositor of all.
Exactly. And how is he placed? See, he is the dispositor of the Rajoga. Moreover, the AL and A5 are together with that. He is the stronger lot of that sign Scorpio. So he is the dispositor of AL and A5. So dispositor of AL and A5 can of course give name, fame. He can erect an image of the person. You can give fame to the person, a tangible fame. Basically being well known, right? And apart from that, how is he placed from RA5? Look at the longitude. Ketu is a 2 degree Virgo, 2.5 degree Virgo. If you remember, AL was at 3 degrees, A5 was at 5 degrees. So he's basically, if you find, he's very close to the cusp of the 11th house. He's basically very strongly and in the 11th house. He's very close to the cusp. So he's a lot of the Arudha Bala in the 11th house. What does Parashara say about 11th house from Arudha? Any Arudha? Any planet in the 11th house from Arudha will make it flourish. It isn't a flourishing of that particular eclipse. So being in the 11th house from Arudha, he basically gives excellent success. Now, so this Dasha can suddenly make it come, right? Now let's do one more thing. Let's see the D20. Let's see the D20. In the D20, what does it apply? What does it apply in D20? Well, 10th Lord is not in 10th, Lagna Lord not in 7th, 7th Lord not in Lagna Lord not in 7th. Basically, none of the conditions. It's not Vargotama. So, 4 degree Capricorn is the Lagna in D20. So, it is Chandrahara again, because it is a female sign now. The first half will be Chandrahara. It will start with even sign. So, even sign. So, Chandrahara, Pushpaksha again. So, again, Short Sotri Dasha. Right? Again, Lagna Lord is not in a quadrant or trine from Rahu. So, Short Sotri. So, Short Sotri of D20. What Dasha made him meet his Guru and be trained by him? What Dasha?
Which year was that?
Oh, you don't know. 1878, 79. Moon Dasha. Moon Dasha. It was in 1878, 79 that he met Ramakrishna Paramhansa, and slowly he started spending more time in 1880, 1881, 1882 that time. And 1883, 1884 was really peak. It was really training hard during that time. Okay, so
Moon is ninth house.
and then in 1886 this Guru went away.
Why did you get moon this? Maybe option Shodasatri for D20?
Yeah, short surgery of D20. Taking D20 as Rashi, came to the moon nakshatra, short surgery. So it was Chandra Dasha. Chandra Mahadasha that gave, based on the most applicable conditions, nakshatra Dasha. Chandra Mahadasha gave, brought Guru into his life and he spent a lot of time in Guru and all that. Does it make sense? And how? Why?
He is the seventh lord.
First of all, let's use what we did before. Is this is moon a benefic or malefic? Is it a functional benefic or functional benefic? Because there is one factor we see, right? We'll use Arudha also, but let's see the fundamental first. Tell me.
He is seventh lord.
Yeah?
Seventh lord in ninth itself will indicate interaction with the guru, right?
Yes. Seventh Lord shows interactions related to spiritual matters.
And with ninth is guru guidance.
So he interacts a lot with Guru. Also, in general, he interacts with a lot of people on dharmic matters. 90 is also Dharma. So on dharmic matters, spiritual matters, etc. Makes sense. But the thing is, why specifically Guru? Okay, actually, no. Your point is right, but what I asked was, is he a functional benefic or benefic? It's an yes or no nothing question. How do you see for moon?
Moon is 17 Scorpio.
He's the seventh lord, right? No,
Not in D10.
degree doesn't matter for functional benefic. You
Yeah.
have to see the ownership.
One hour.
Fifth and ninth lord is a functional benefic.
Yeah.
Second, eighth and 12th are neutral. It depends on the other house. These are the rules, right? 3, 6, 11 are benefic. And quadrants, what about quadrants? They are benefic for
Benefics
natural
for-
benefics and benefic for natural benefics. So is moon a natural benefic or natural benefic in this chart?
Krishna Paksha is there.
Krishna Paksha moon. So,
Natural.
natural benefic. So for a natural benefic, ownership of a quadrant is not really that benefic. So he is slightly benefic. Moon is a slight functional benefic. Okay? Makes sense?
I'm not with you. He said, why is he in a quadrant? He is in ninth house, right?
Ownership. The
Ownership
functional
is-
nature of the planet, whether he is a functional benefic or benefic, is always based on the ownership.
Okay.
Only for
Ownership
Rahu
was
you
seventh
see the
house.
opposite. For other planets, it's one.
See the ownership.
So seventh ownership, see, had he been fifth lord, he would have been benefic. Had he been sixth lord, he would have been benefic.
Okay.
Because he is the seventh lord, for seventh, 10th and 4th, you see whether they are natural benefics or natural benefics.
Natural
Which are the
benefics, so he is
benefics
benefic
covered
here.
up here. So,
It's benefic here.
Okay.
so based on it, moon is a functional benefic. So that is one thing. So functional benefic in the ninth house will bless the ninth house. So you can get interactions with guru. You can get a guru in the chart. But apart from it, very day night, new knowledge that we learned today, we should use that.
It's in the seventh house.
Yeah, it's in the seventh house. But the thing is, it's in Cancer. So moon is the lord of day night.
Correct.
Yeah. So the thing is, he is the Lord of Day. So from that point of view, being the Lord of Day, he can give, he can bring Guru into his life, right?
నేను మళ్ళీ చేస్తా క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను ఓకే బాయ్
Actually, this is a very big dasha, right? Jupiter is also.
Pardon me?
That is a very big dasha, 68 to 84.
Yeah,
So,
right.
you look at other dasha also.
And that's right. But the thing is, for most of that dasha, oh, actually that's right. What you said is right. So the Antar dasha in which he met his Guru was Jupiter. Actually. Now the thing is, based on what we did earlier, Jupiter is a functional male. Jupiter in this particular chart is a functional male.
Third and fourth.
But the thing is, he is a natural benefic and he is the Karaka for Guru. And he is exalted like Kendra giving Hanta Mahapurush Yoga, which cannot be ignored. On top of all of those factors, now the additional factor is he is in
సెవెంత్ హౌస్
A9.
A9.
ఈజ్
So
విత్
basically,
A9
the Mahadasha was that of Lord of A9. The Antardasha was that of a planet exalted in A9.
Right.
So basically, during that Dasha, Guru came into his life. Now, when did Guru leave him? 1886 August 12 or 16, I think, 16. 1886 August 16. So that's when Ramakrishna left body. So what Dasha gave death of Guru?
Mercury.
Mercury. Does it make sense? Is Mercury a killer?
From the
From A9. Let's forget L9 and all those things. We haven't done that we haven't come that far. Just A9 will. A9 is the tangible guidance from a Guru. So that
he lost that.
He lost that. His Guru left. So, and the thing is, when his Guru left him, see, when his Guru was there, he used to argue with his Guru, he used to tell him very bluntly, whatever visions you are describing, they may just be your hallucination. That's what he used to tell the Ramakrishna. Kali, she doesn't really exist, there's nothing, there's no God, it's all Brahman. Like that, he was influenced by the Brahma Samaj theory. So he used to bluntly tell him, you are just hallucinating. But I like you are a nice person, so I'm hanging around. I don't really believe in all this nonsense. So he was like that. But the thing is, after his Guru died, nevertheless, he was getting all that knowledge. It was basically getting recorded. It wasn't triggered, but it was basically getting recorded in the brain. It was very useful to him. Those few years he spent with Ramakrishna, they basically were very useful. They formed his personality. And after his Guru died, he went through such a painful period. He really realized the value of his Guru after his Guru left. That is when he started to experience. He realized what his Guru was talking about, and then he became fully convinced. Finally, after roaming around India for a few years, finally he decided, okay, at Kanyakumari, when he had the vision of Ramakrishna telling him, go on the ocean, and then he confirmed with Radha Mata, he wrote a letter to her, she said, yes, you should go to US, it will be good. That is when he came. So, and the thing is, he was guided by Ramakrishna. After Ramakrishna, more than when Ramakrishna was alive, after Ramakrishna left body, he was guided by him. Because the way his whole Chicago thing happened is just amazing. If you look at all the positions, he was meditating in Kanyakumari, he had the vision of Ramakrishna telling him, go this way, go on the ocean, go to the US. He wondered why. Because in those days, it was actually considered a sin for
To cross an ocean.
to cross ocean. Orthodox people never did it. So no Swamiji ever came. He was the first one. All Prabhupada, all these people, Paramahansa, they came later. He was the first one to actually put the flag of Hinduism in a Western country. So it was very unorthodox area. It was basically like, you really want to do it, doesn't make any sense. It was like that. So he said, okay, fine. He checked with Radha Mata, he arranged some money from the Raja of Kutti, he came. Once he landed in New York and he found that he got the date wrong. It wasn't in May, but it was in April, but it was in September. So he thought it was right away, so he came, but the date was wrong. So basically he read the date wrong or something happened. So he didn't know what to do. He didn't have any money. He landed in US without any money. Luckily he found somebody who could, actually in our area, Boston, somewhere on 495, exit 18, that's why I forget the name of the town. Basically some family there that you take care of, some Christian. So he spent time with them, he used to go to church, he used to tell them stories from Bible and reconcile with Hinduism. They all started to like him. And then finally, when September came, he found out that you have to have an invitation to participate in the park. You can't just go there and say, I'll talk about Hinduism. Nobody will let you do that. You are a nobody. So luckily, when he found out about this and he was, oh God, he was like, oh God, what is this? Then one person, Harvard professor in religion, comparative religion, he basically spent a few days with American and he was very impressed with his understanding of God and religion and gender. He said, I'll give you a recommendation. I know people there don't go around. They're most likely to give you a chance. So he wrote a nice recommendation. And then he took the letter and all the address, everything, and then he misplaced it in the train. He lost it in the train. When he was going to Chicago, finally, he lost it. And then he got out of the train and asked people, where is the Parliament of Religion? People said, what is it? Nobody, it's not really like a basketball game or football game, right? Nobody cares about Parliament of Religion. Normal level. So he didn't know where to go. It was a big city. He just landed in the train station. So he gave up. He just went. He found a nice lake. He sat by the lake. He meditated on Ramakrishna. And then Ramakrishna basically gave him his vision So he went and there was a house. He knocked on the house. He said, "I'm really hungry. I'm dying with hunger. Please give me food." They gave him some bread. And then they were talking, and then it turned out that they were actually one of the architects of India. So they took him. Everything worked out after. See, the thing is, one of the links in this chain of events missed, generally it wouldn't have happened. And he wouldn't have spread news and US. And who knows, all the other people, Pravandana, Bahubala, Mahesh Yogi. Because this was the enabler of so many things that happened back then. So the thing is, this Guru, even though Ramakrishna specifically said, for 100 years, I will remain in second body. And after that, I will come back again. I will remain in second body and I will try to make one body. So he was guiding Vivekananda even after death. But the thing is, the physical, like, if you look at A9 as the physical guidance that you get from a Guru, that's basically lost. And the body of the Guru left. So, from A9, how is Maitri Dasha? It was during the Maitri Dasha.
He is the counselor in the 8th house.
He is the
Counselor.
yeah. Was Lord in the 8th house. Yeah. So, was Lord and third Lord actually.
Third Lord.
Lord and third Lord, he is a functional male fix from A9, if you take A9 as Ratna. And he is
Is in 8th house.
in the 8th house.
8th house of Lord.
A functional male fix in the 8th house. So that means basically taking away the longevity. So it is basically not good for longevity of taking A9 as Ratna. And similarly, Venus is a functional male fix and he is in the third house. Again, a functional male fix in the third house. Basically, two functional male fix, one in 8th, one in 3rd. They Dasha and Antardasha took away Guru, which makes sense. Basically, both are male fix. Functional male fix in 8th and 3rd houses can be killers. So that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So like this, basically, you can use the Alvar Padas to.
So one quick question.
Yeah.
How different is this from years back when we looked this chart with the natal, very original
It is
thinking?
very different. We are,
No, even then we explained the situation that everything made sense.
Yeah.
Even now we still do it.
yeah.
So,
So the bottom line is
so at least in what I'm saying is in these standard charts,
yeah.
they take Gandhi or Vivekananda, Ramakrishna, any
I
of
know we don't have a very yeah.
no, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Take any of the standard charts. The significant events we did explain even with the old logic.
Right. But the question is this.
How
See,
confident-
you may be convinced, but I was never convinced. Bottom line is, we were giving a logic, but the thing is, there was no consistency in the logic. Basically, we were, in one case, we will say this planet is good, in another case, we will say this planet is bad. We weren't basically using simple rules and using it in a consistent way. And I believe that we are being more consistent. We are using simpler rules. There is a simpler set of parameters we are using, and we are using them in a far more consistent way. This may still not be perfect, but the thing is, the way
More
I
consistent than before?
It is far more consistent than what we were doing.
Okay.
So basically, earlier we were seeing shapes in the clouds. Now we are actually seeing shapes in something more than clouds. There are like many photographs. There is something more genuine now. That is how I see it. But the thing is, if you were happy earlier also and if you are happy now also, then I basically don't have anything to say. You can do whatever
That permits.
perfect, whatever is comfortable. But the thing is, I wasn't very comfortable earlier. I'm a little more comfortable.
No, if you are comfortable, then we are comfortable. But the fact is, we have to sync with your logic and calculation at that speed to be able to use this. That's all the difference.
Yeah. Basically, I still wave hands, but I used to wave hands more than I wave hands less now. There is more consistency.
What happened is because of some loss of classes and other things, I don't know if you are in sync, but some of this is just going above.
Yeah.
And
And also the thing is, especially with you,
I missed
you
several.
don't waste much space in your brain for storing all this knowledge. You basically leave it. That is good basically. You keep guarding the space. You don't really think on it. You all throw away something. So you usually forget anyway. Even if we were sticking to the same logic, you forget anyway. And here we are actually changing things on you. So no wonder you are confused. This is meant to be a compliment.
I know, but it is what it is.
Okay. So like this basically. Let us see something here. Let's do one more thing.
But his sister is
Yeah.
like you see the fifth house, right?
See, that is something that we haven't done after checking the sources. How do you see these details? But let us do that. So let us. Who is this Atmakarka? Who is this Atmakarka in D20? I mean, Atmakarka is Sun. Where is he in D20? You go to longitude view, you will see that AK is Sun, right? Basically, if you look at the Rashi longitude, Sun is at 29 degrees. He is the most advanced. We are still looking at Atmakarka in Rashi, not in the. We are not seeing Atmakarka in each Sun. We are seeing Atmakarka in Rashi. Now, and we see where he is in the Vinshamsha, the Chata Upasana. In D20, where is Sun? Pisces. So, the 12th from there, the Lord of the sign or the occupant of the sign will show the Ishadavta, right?
Right.
Now, who is, Nepri is there and the Lord is Saturn and Rahu. There are two Lords.
Right.
Who's stronger? Rahu. Rahu is in a martial field. So basically, which line of Devata does it show? Durga. According to Parashar, Rahu is basically Tamaseen Durga. Basically, fierce deity. So, Durga, it can also be Kali. Basically, Rahu with Ketu in a martial sign can show a fierce Devata. So, Chandi, Kali, Durga. His favorite player used to be Chandipa. Gayatri Mantra and Chandipa. Those were his favorite players. Okay. Anything else you want to say? Okay, let us move to actually one question on this chart. There is one question on this chart. He wasn't married. Why wasn't he married?
Go to Navamsa.
How do you see in the Navamsa? What factors are there in Navamsa which resulted in not marrying?
Lagna Lord is in 8th house.
Yeah. In the Navamsa, Lagna Lord is in the 8th house and what else? How is the 7th house of marriage? See, Lagna is powerful. With Jupiter, the functional benefic in Lagna. So Navamsa Lagna is powerful. But the thing is, there could be just Dharma, strong Dharma. But
And the 8th Lord in 7th house.
yeah, 8th Lord is in the 7th house. So that is a Marga combination. Every 8th Lord is in the 7th house. And then Saturn Mercury combination is in the 7th house. Is it a good combination? First of all, both are male shift. Based on Parashari rules, two functional male shifts. Of course, natural male shifts also there. But more importantly, two functional male shifts in the 7th house. Moreover, those are the barren planets. Saturn and Mercury are barren planets. So those planets are in the 7th house and they happen to be functional male shifts here. And moreover, 3rd and 8th Lord in 7th is a Marga combination. So there is a Marga combination occurring in the 7th house. So marriage can be denied. On top of it, if you look at UL, the Upad Lagna, Ketu is in Upad Lagna. Okay.
But generally we say Upar Lagna for marriage. So Ketu being a Lagna Lord can make the Upar Lagna to flourish. So we should start the lineage for that reason. Ketu should give a marriage.
Right. So that's a good point. So how do you reconcile?
Depends upon who is stronger, the planets in 7th and Lagna Lord in 8th, or maybe this.
See, the thing is,
Combination.
The 7th house is particularly weak. It is affected by the elephant. And the 7th Lord is also, actually 7th Lord is well placed. But the thing is, 7th house is very badly placed. And Lagna Lord is also weak. And secondly, let us ask a simple question. Upada is basically, what is Upada? Is it only marriage?
It is giving.
Compromise.
It is basically giving. First house is the giving. And Navamsa is Dharma. And giving yourself to a wife, compromising, basically giving up something so that you are with a wife and you basically follow someone together is one way of giving. But the thing is, it's not, even if you are not married, suppose you have a spiritual organization, suppose you have a religious organization, you are giving knowledge to so many people that you have Shishya, etc. That is also basically giving, related to Dharma. Navamsa is Dharma, it's not just marriage. Navamsa is not a sort of sex, it's a sort of Dharma. And marriage is basically a Dharmic activity. So the thing is, you will having Ketu is Lagna Lord. spiritual planet. And your Lord is in trine from it, sun, in the sign of Dharma, Sagittarius. This could basically, all this is, and moreover, Lagna contains 6 Lord Jupiter, who shows 6,000, 9,000 are basically Dharma Trikona. Right. So basically, Dharma is strong in this Navamsa, but 7th is not that strong. So basically, it was not relating to marriage, but it was relating to dharmic matters, whatever Upadhyaya he had.
What is BE7 we see?
How do we take it out? One time, long time ago, we put Venus on an option like VE7. V is a Venus, right?
Yeah.
I know a long time ago I put it out there, but I forgot how to
Yeah,
take
you
it out.
do choose a view and then standard view with Graharudha, the dual Graharudha, one of the Graharudha views, like different. Okay.
Choose a view for what?
Oh, I left it on, but I thought about how to take that.
Okay. So what else?
Shall we see that example?
Yeah, we'll see the example. We'll start using the Alhas. We start. And the time zone is of course IST, 5 hours 30 minutes east of GMT. So what does it say? He would like to know when the marriage would settle. He is seriously looking for a girl who is spiritual and who would like to have a good family life. He seems to get some matches and things seem to settle for 2-3 months, and at the end they seem to get dropped. Seem to have happened so far. Seems to have happened so for over 3 matches. Okay. So basically, we want to see how prospects for marriage are. And the past events, there are a few events mentioned here. Finished BSc in Computer Science in 1995. 1992 to 95, we did BSc in Computer Science, finished in 95. After that, education discontinued. Traveled first abroad to Japan between Jan 10, 2002 and Jan 20, 2002, and back to India April 10, 2002 for about 3 months. So between January 10 and 20, he went to Japan in 2002 and was there till the end of April. Landed in US first on 2004 November 22. He was married on 2000. This is an important event because this is related to marriage. 2007 February 8 he was married and separated on 2008 March 29. Basically a little more than a year. And divorced on January 30, 2009. So little more than a year later he was separated, and another year later, 11 months, 10 months later, he was formally divorced. He joined Master of Science MS at Boston University at the end of October in 2008 and finished by February 2010.
Like about 5 semesters he just finished.
Okay, in 5 semesters he finished. This is Master of Master.
Not even 5, 4 semesters.
MS in Computer Science. Okay.
His basic question is, he's not getting any
You
right
actually
matches.
do one thing. I want, instead of typing all these things that I read, because we have it in electronic form, email it to me when you go home and cut and paste in my class.
Okay.
Not to have the chart notes go.
Okay.
So what is
His basic question is, he is looking into so many matches now, but he is not getting a right thing.
till the end, but starting at the end.
Most of them, they kind of come to the end and then they just drop down for some reason or other. Nothing seems to materialize. So,
Okay.
You want to know what's the obstructing?
what is obstructing and when will we get
What are the prospects of?
Are the prospects, okay.
Okay. And is there anything we can do to make it better, right?
Correct.
Okay.
no, yet it is open.
Okay, so Navamsa Lagna is the key.
So you get a Libra Navamsa Lagna?
I got Libra Navamsa Lagna.
It's a very border line. It's a 2 minutes.
Yeah. We may have to rectify that. 2007 February 8 he got divorced. So no, actually it's not that bad. Libra 3.5 minutes earlier. 3:37. Right? Okay. So let us see the before we go to Navamsa, see the Raji chart. In the Raji chart, how is
Phone on
the
just పెడుతున్నా వినొచ్చు.
how is the 7th house in the Raji chart? 7th lord is in the 6th house, and 7th house contains Sun and Saturn, enemy. Moreover, Sun is a functional benefit, but Saturn is a functional benefit. So
Where in the Rasi itself?
I'm just looking at Rasi to see. This is not just with wife. In general, his interactions with people.
Right.
So when it comes to Sun is fine. Sun is nice lord.
But he's got problem with Saturn in 7th house.
He has a big problem with Saturn in the 7th.
With the interaction.
But he has, it's basically in making relationships and keeping relationships, there is some problem. And also Mercury is in the 6th house.
6 hours.
Yeah, so there is some problem. Now let us see the Navamsya, specifically to see marriage. If this Lagna is accurate, this could be Libra or it could be Virgo also. So if it is Libra, what Dasha would apply? He got married in 2007 February. What is the Dasha that will apply? Sun is in Lagna. So let's try Shaktihayani Dasha. Okay? And if the time is a little off, actually even now it may be. Oh no, not now. If time is a little backward, Shatabdi Dasha will apply. But let us first try Shaktihayani Dasha. See if it makes sense. What Dasha gave marriage?
So everything happened in
So Jupiter Dasha gave the marriage. Jupiter Dasha gave the marriage. And Dasha that gave marriage was Mars Dasha, right? Mars Dasha gave marriage, and then towards the end of Mars Dasha, sorry, Jupiter Dasha, Mars Dasha, towards the end of Mars Dasha or beginning of Moon Dasha, he basically separated, and formal divorce came in Moon Dasha. Okay? Now,
They are using regular Vimshatari D9 or Vimshatari? Just Shaktihayani Dasha.
Sun and Lagna.
Shaktihayani Dasha because
Sun and Lagna.
Sun is in Lagna.
Yeah. Of D9. Shaktihayani D9.
He got married in 2007.
2007 February he got married.
2007 February అంటే Jupiter. Hello.
Now, can Jupiter give marriage?
పెట్టేస్తున్నా బ్యాటరీ ఎక్కువ పోవచ్చు అప్పటిదాకా వినొచ్చు. ఓకే.
Okay, can Jupiter give marriage?
He is 3rd and 6th lord.
Yeah.
Not really.
I think his Lagna should be Virgo.
Yeah, Lagna should be Virgo, then it makes more sense, right?
Okay, but then Shaktihayani Dasha wouldn't apply. Then you will be talking about Shodhamada Dasha. Shortsothi Dasha perhaps.
No, but for this Dasha, for this chart,
Yeah.
everybody is 3rd and 6th lord.
Yeah.
The only thing is we need with Ketu. Is not connected to 7th house. Is 80A7.
What about if we just choose with Vimshatari to start with and see if it makes sense with Virgo?
We can do that, but let us just basically, whichever we take, let's try to see the most applicable data and see if it makes sense like that. Now, if the time was one way is because Sun is debilitated, even though Sun is in Lagna, because Sun is debilitated in Lagna, he may not be powerful enough. And you can say, even though Sun is debilitated, Sun is in Lagna, Satyayani Dasa doesn't really apply that.
He's the 11th, malefic.
Huh?
He's the 11th Lord.
That is also there, but the thing is, he's basically weak. So the fact that he's in Lagna may not play a strong role. So if that is the case, is there any other Dasa that could be used? It will basically come to, in this particular chart, it will come to short Satya Dasa. And if you use short Satya Dasa also, things don't make sense, right? If you use short Satya Dasa, which Dasa gave him marriage? Moon Dasa. Moon is the 10th lord in the 11th house. There's nothing really special, right? There's nothing really special that makes you say, wow, that makes sense. He got married in this Dasa. So, let us ignore that also. And by the way, even if you take Virgo, it will be short Satya Dasa that applies. And from Virgo also, Moon Dasa doesn't really make great sense. 11th lord in the 12th house. So, he Dasa getting married. So, let us say, time is off by a couple of minutes. And Lagna is in the first 1/9 of Libra. And Shatabdi Dasa applies to that. You understand what I am saying? So instead of 12/7, sorry, then say 8/7, let's say 8/5 p.m.
Oh, 8:15 we entered.
We
Oh,
entered
you
8:15. Yeah.
That's what I thought it
Said 8/7 here. The mail said 8/7.
Maybe, okay, when you read it could have been 8:15, we noted it.
15 I thought I read wrong. Time, what time by the way is 8/7 p.m. original time. And now I am saying let's 8/5 to 8/5. Let's try 8/5. So then, or not 8/5, 8/4 or 8/4:30. Let's say 8/5. Sorry, 8/4. So 8/4 p.m. Lagna in D9 is at 1 degree Libra 21 minutes. So it is Vargosama. Lagna is in Vargosama. So Shatabdi Dasa will apply. Right? So find Shatabdi Dasa of D9. Does marriage make sense now? Using Shatabdi Dasa. Does marriage make sense? Tell me.
So everything happened in Saturn.
Yeah? Everything happened in Saturn Mahadasa. But the thing is first marriage. Let us take one event at a time. Can Saturn give marriage? Well, he is the UL Lord, he is Yokarka. Though he is not well placed, he is in the 8th house, he is at least Yokarka. And he is conjoining the 9th Lord. So he is giving a Rajoga and he is the Lord of UL. So Saturn Dasa can be
Possible.
But he's in 8th house though.
in the 8th house. That's right. But
Tensions would be there.
there may be tension, there may be anxiety, it may not be stable, there may be roller coaster ride. That is what 8th house is. But he is basically a good planet. So basically in the Dasa of a Yokarka, that to UL Lord, there is a possibility of marriage.
And then he's a disposed of 7th Lord.
He is the dispositor of Sankar Master. Right?
Hmm.
Now, the thing is,
Sankar Mars and UL, okay.
Saturn.
but the thing is, if this is the correct situation and this is the correct data that applies, marriage makes sense. But how about the divorce? 2008-2009 time period, there was this separation, divorce, etc. How does that make sense?
And if you go to Antardasa, both are in Saturn.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so both are Saturn. So Saturn himself, the one who gave marriage, can he also give separation? The Saturn has the capability of giving separation with Saturn.
Actually, yeah, you see, one more Antardasa is Mars. So Saturn, Mars.
Yeah. Saturn, Mars, yeah. Does it have the potential to give
So we have seen divorce when there is a 7th Lord in 8th or
8th Lord in 7.
yeah, 8th Lord in 7th. Those cases we have seen breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not the case. 7th Lord is now in 5th house.
Mm-hmm.
unless at some time you have Saturn, Mercury exchanging their results.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, we stopped doing that.
We are not planets not
Yeah,
exchanging.
we are actually not. He will definitely influence by Mercury. The thing is, we are not saying that he will give. He will exchange the result. We basically say his results will be influenced by Mercury.
The only reason in that case is Mercury's influence can be.
So, but you cannot explain directly.
I mean, what shows divorce in a chart? What shows divorce?
The loss of
second
seventh
from
house, or the
Yeah,
loss of the seventh.
giving up the UL.
There is the
So,
Maraka
in terms of
combination.
Arudha, see, in terms of UL, it is a 12 from, you can say 12 is giving up the UL, or 8 is basically killing off the UL, right? So, even though Saturn is UL lord, he is also the 12th lord from UL, and the 8th lord from UL is Mercury. So, the Saturn Mercury combination is basically the 12th and 8th lords, the giving up and destruction of the UL, those lords are together. Apart from UL, taking UL centric, taking from the point of view of UL, is there any other Arudha which shows divorce?
A9, when you lose
No,
the
A9
is dharma.
What about A8?
A8 can.
A6 and A8.
A6 is
A6
quarrels,
A6 is quarrels, tangible quarrels and
like litigations.
and A8 is basically death, Mrityubada. So A8 is another important factor. And see who is the lord of A8 here?
Mercury.
Mercury is the lord of A8 and he is in the 8th house. So the thing is taking from A8 as reference, Mercury, the lord of A8 is in the 8th house. He is basically connecting the 8th house from Lagna with the A8, right? Moreover, they are aspecting the 8th lord. Of course, Venus is Lagna lord also, but they are aspecting the 8th lord. He is also the 8th lord. So they are aspecting 8th lord. So 8th house, 8th lord, and A8. They are all joined with Saturn and Mercury. And even from UL, like I said earlier, they are the 8th lord and 1st lord. And apart from it, are they close? See, if Mercury was away from Saturn, Saturn will be kind of isolated from Mercury's influence. But Mercury is quite close to Saturn. You look at the longitudes. Mercury is at 22 degree Taurus, Saturn is at 24 degree Taurus. So within 2.5 degrees. Right? So, even though they are Yokarka and functional benefits from Lagna, as far as once you bring the Arudha also into picture, there basically A8 is coming into play and 8 from UL is coming into play. And apart from it, one more factor. How are they placed? With respect to A8?
With respect to A8, they are both. 8th lord is
Yeah, with respect to A8, they are in the
12th.
12th house. So, according to Parashara, Saturn in the 12th from any Arudha, is it good for that Arudha or bad for Arudha? No. Actually, Saturn said Mercury and Jupiter in the second is Raja Yoga. Saturn in the 12th is Raja Yoga. If you remember, basically Saturn is the planet of depletion. So, if he is in the 12th house from an Arudha, he basically that's a Raja Yoga for that Arudha. We have to, what I suggest is go back to the chapter on Arudha and see the result. For planets like Mercury, Venus and Jupiter, being in the second house or first house from Arudha, it basically nourishes that Arudha. Whereas for a planet like Saturn or Rahu, for those two he specifically said, 12th house from the Arudha is basically excellent. He nourishes that Arudha. So not only is Saturn with the A8 Lord, he is in the 12th from A8. So strictly going by Parashara's principle, as far as A8 is concerned, Saturn is
Enhancing A8.
he enhances A8. Of course, had he been in the 11th house from a Arudha, he enhances that also. But for A8, he is giving Rajoga. So basically, Saturn can give a break based on that particular factor. So Saturn Dasha can give a break also. So within Saturn Dasha, Saturn Anta Dasha itself, the marriage happened as well as break happened because he is strongly linked to both A8 and A12. But the thing is, how is the current time? Is there a prospect of marriage now? The Antardasha running right now is that of Moon. Right? Moon is a functional benefic, is a natural benefic or natural benefic here? He is Shukla Paksha, so Moon is a benefic. Is a natural benefic, right? And how is he placed from UL? Because we want to see marriage, right?
He's in 7th house.
And we will not say 8th house from UL is for the second marriage and all that. We'll just see UL. UL is marriage and we'll see UL. So from UL, how is Moon placed? Where is
Moon
UL?
is aspect.
7th house is aspecting the.
UL is at 30 degrees Aquarius and Moon is at 22 degrees Leo. So Moon is actually having some aspect on the UL. Okay? So Moon is aspecting UL. That is one thing. And he is also aspecting the Lagna Lord Venus. And he is also aspecting the 7th Lord Mars. Aspect on Mars, yeah. Actually Mars is very close to UL, so we would aspect both. So aspecting the 7th Lord and aspecting the UL, Moon can give, there is a potential for Moon to give the marriage. But the problem is he really like a very strong candidate for marriage?
He is 6th Lord.
From UL he is the 6th Lord aspecting UL. So the bottom line is he
Could
is
give
the,
marriage, but with little
It is the 10th Lord in the 11th house. So in the Navamsa. So maybe finding a wife, letting when the 10th Lord Samprajaya is earning in Navamsa, maybe finding a wife at one place or something like that. 11th house is friends, so finding somebody who's a friend, making a friend and then marrying, that kind of things are possible in the moon and etc. But in general, this Samprajaya does have a potential for marriage, but it's not very strong. On the other hand, how is Venus, the next Samprajaya, next year? It is very strong because Venus is the Lagna Lord. Venus is the Lagna Lord, and from UL he is the Yokaraka. Right?
Venus from where you are seeing? In which desk?
Venus
Venus
is
Scorpio.
coming next, right? In 2012,
2012.
yeah, August
Okay.
also.
Yeah.
Venus will come.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that Venus is the Lagna Lord, and he is aspecting the UL Lord Saturn. And he is having a Rajoga with all these guys. Saturn and Venus actually have a Rajoga. The Yokaraka Saturn, the 9th Lord Mercury, and Venus, they all have very close Rajoga, extremely close Rajoga. Right? All the three trine lords. So, Saturn Venus is actually a very powerful period for marriage, more than any other period. Especially Saturn Venus Mercury or Saturn Venus Venus. So, my feeling is second half of next year is a much better candidate for getting married than the current period. But there is some chance. And the main problem is the whole Saturn Dasha, even though Saturn is a Yokaraka and Navamsa and UL Lord, he is linked with the A8, being in the 12th from giving a Rajoga with respect to A8 and being with the A8 Lord, it basically suggests, and being in the 8th house from Lagna, will mean that there will be some anxiety or some disturbance and perturbance in the marriage. So, in order that it doesn't recur with the new marriage, he needs to propitiate Saturn and Mercury. Saturn in a benefic sign with Mercury, which Devata will show?
Venkateshwara.
Show Vishnu.
Venkateshwara.
Yeah, you can say Venkateshwara, absolutely. Venkateshwara. So Saturn and Mercury combination, Venkateshwara. So pray to Padmavati Srinivasa or Venkateshwara. So that is a great remedy for marital problem. So every Saturday, UL is in for Saturday. Could be Friday also, but Saturday will be easier. So every Saturday, worship Venkateshwara. Spend a couple of hours chanting some Venkateshwara. Simple Venkateshwara.
Suggested him long back about fasting on UL day,
Yeah.
but will the UL change with this thing now?
It may change. You can find out.
Yeah. Because I suggested as per the.
I don't see missing no, it can cancel.
Actually, Mars being with so close to UL, there is a problem. The 7th, Mars is generally not for marriage. He's being a 7th Lord and close to the UL.
See, the thing is, one thing that I found is when you are looking at things from the Arudha, when you are seeing who's in the Arudha, who's affecting Arudha, more than the functional nature, the inherent nature of the planets do matter. Like, for example, like Parasa said, Nifty in the second from Arudha is a Rajoga, Saturn is a Rajoga, like that. So, Mars is a planet of haste. So, UL being containing Mars so closely means marriage will be characterized by hates, whether marriage itself or divorce or marital life, there will be some hates, some hasty events in the marriage. Things may happen, marriage may happen suddenly, and it may break suddenly. That kind of things are possible. But again, so you could suggest some worship for Mars also, that is fine. But the thing is, the way I look at it, Dasha is that of Saturn, and Saturn Vigni combination is the strongest, most powerful combination in the chart. And Venus is also aspecting. So, Venkateshwara, especially Venus aspecting, so Padmavati is Sinhasa. So, some prayer of Lakshmi, Padmavati and Venkateshwara. You can take a picture of Padmavati and Venkateshwara and do some prayer of those. That will be very auspicious. Let us see the annual chart.
You are looking at 2011 or 2012?
Let us look at current. So last time he got married, where did he get married, here or in India?
I think
He
in
come to
India.
US already by then?
No, it's in India.
Okay. But he went to India to get married.
Correct. I can ask him.
He married somebody from India.
Did you get married in India, right? Okay, good. Okay. Gunturlone అయింది.
Okay. But he was living in US at that time.
Correct.
He traveled
Correct.
to get married.
Yeah.
Okay. Let us see the current, the period that is running right now. Actually, before that, should we see his marriage? Does it make any sense at all? We got married in 2007, right?
Yes.
So let us go to the 2006 Sadhika chart. 2006 Sadhika chart. In 2006 Sadhika chart. He got married in February. So does it? Can we see this? Can we see it?
What Dasha will apply in this case now? We will go to source of 3.
No, we have to decide. Let's see the. First of all, does this chart have any strength?
Not for marriage, because the 6th Lord Venus given Karaka is in with Lagna, and 8th Lord is in 7th. 8th Lord in 7th, 8 in 7th house. So it,
Yeah, 8th Lord Moon is in 7th.
and UL is in 8th.
Yeah. Lagna Lord.
7th Lord in 6th.
6th Lord is in Lagna. But the thing is, is there any good factor at all to getting married?
The Karaka for marriage is in Lagna.
Okay. That's enough. Is there any?
And he's been aspected by Lagna Lord Jupiter and
Yeah. What else? So Lagna Lord Jupiter is in one sign with Ketu. So Lagna Lord is strong. So that is one thing. So Lagna Lord is powerful. And how are the other benefits and benefits? Sun and Mars are together. Is that good or bad?
Sun is the 9th Lord.
Yeah.
Mars is 4th and 5th is good.
Yeah. So the thing is, one yoga we have is the lords of the two trines are together. So there is a yoga between 6th and 9th lord. So that is one thing. The other thing is the other thing is that
Lagna
Lagna Lord is very powerful in an own side. So that is the other factor. And of course, taking Venus as Lagna also the same thing. From Venus Lagna, the 7th Lord, the Lagna Lord is very powerful. How about Chandra Lagna? How about Chandra Lagna?
12th Lord in 7th.
Yeah.
12th Lord in 7th. And 5th house contains
from Chandra Lagna, 9th Lord is good.
Right.
The only thing is the 8 is in
For me?
8, he wants a.
Yeah, but we are looking at marriage. How about UL? How are things from UL? Where is UL?
12 is in Cancer.
UL is in Cancer, right? UL is in Cancer.
And
And
9th Lord in 9th house.
so from UL, how are placement? How is Jupiter? He is from UL, 9th Lord is mostly in the 9th house, so he protects the UL, right? And how about Sun and Mars? They are in a Kendra from UL,
Right.
and the 7th Lord Mercury, even though he is in the 6th house, 7th Lord Mercury is in the 11th from UL.
No, 7th Lord is Saturn, right?
7th Lord from Lagna.
I just went back to Lagna.
Okay, yes.
7th Lord Mercury, he is in the 6th house.
Right.
And 11th from
11th
UL.
from UL, yes.
7th Lord in the 6th house can be, we can say if already married, we can give quarrels, etc. Right? 6th house is the house of quarrels. But the 7th Lord, his main agenda is to give marriage. Right? So if he is in the 6th house, he may give quarrels. But the thing is, 7th house is the house of marriage. The planet's purpose is to give marriage. He's in the 12th from it. That's why I asked. So he basically traveled
Distance
down
to get married.
So 7th Lord in the 12th from any lot of any house being in the 12th from it can be getting that, but after either compromising or going traveling far. So 7th Lord in the 12th from 7th house can show going to a faraway place and getting married. Moreover, that Mercury there is in a friendly sign. And secondly, is 6th house a good placement for Mercury or bad placement from Lagna?
Be good.
For several planets, there are good and bad placements based on Ashtavarga. So you can, so for example, if Jupiter, 6th house is a good placement. If it is Mars, 6th house is a good placement. Like that, for different planets, different houses are good and bad. For Mercury, 6th house is a good placement. So basically, for 7th Lord, 6th is not a good placement. But the thing is, it doesn't necessarily show problems. It shows marriage after traveling a long distance. But for Mercury, 6th house is a good placement. So, being a friendly sign with a good placement from Lagna, the 7th Lord can give marriage after traveling abroad. Now the thing is, see 7th Lord in a friendly sign, in 6th house, which is a natural good sign, good house for him. That is not enough. Look at UL. From UL, how is Mercury placed?
11th.
He is in the 11th house. So being in the 11th house from UL, basically planets aspecting or occupying 11th house will promote that also. So Mercury can give marriage. So that's how which I will apply here. If you take moon instead of, if you take moon as moon lagna, Chandra lagna instead of normal lagna, because normal lagna is weak with Venus affecting it, function affecting it. So if you take Chandra lagna, 10th Lord Jupiter is in the 10th house. And if you see Jyothishya Samadartha of D10, D9, the marriage happened in Mercury Jupiter Antardasha. Right. Mercury Jupiter Antardasha. Mercury is the 7th Lord and Jupiter is the Lagna Lord. And now let us go to the 2007 chart. Because in 2008 they were basically separated. At the end of March they were separated. Let us look at this detail now. First of all, Lagna Lord, in the previous year chart, Lagna Lord was in own sign, like Andhra, giving Hanta Mahapusha Yoga. In this chart, the Lagna Lord is, how is Lagna Lord in 2007 Karka chart?
Third house.
Third house was debilitated. So Lagna Lord is debilitated. Then the seventh, how is seventh place? Seventh house is?
Seventh Lord in 8th.
Seventh Lord is in the 8th house. With Mars and Rahu are also there. So Saturn is,
Both 7th Lords are in 8th.
yeah, both seventh Lords are. The thing is, being with Mars is not a bad thing, but the thing is, Saturn, Mars, Rahu combination is a very evil combination. It shows violent and sudden events. So this basically is not that auspicious. Now, what Dasha will apply in this chart?
And also with Mars is disposed to phase 6 and 9th Lord.
Different 8 and A6 both.
Eight
Mars
also.
is the Lord of A6 and
Yeah,
A6.
A6 and 8.
8 also.
So he is basically these planets are basically speaking. So that is a great point. Now, what Dasha applies in D9? It is Chandrahora. Are there any special dashas applicable? I don't think so. So Chandrahora, Shuklapaksha. So that will be regular Vimshottari. So based on the Vimshottari of Navamsha, normal Vimshottari from Navamsha, the divorce basically happened in Ketu period.
2008, right?
Yeah. And Ketu, why Ketu? Well, Ketu is, we say Saturn Mars Rahu combination, Ketu is aspect.
2008 is what? Not
8th Ketu or Mercury? 2008 February, correct?
No, 2008 March.
March,
29.
March
2008 March 29.
Okay.
Marriage was February.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is March 29.
That's the Jupiter does.
No, it is
Vimshottari of
Vimshottari.
D9.
Vimshottari D9.
Kritika, no shift. You have a shift basically removed. Vimshottari Dasha of D9 started from Moon. First Dasha should be Sun, Moon, Mars, like that. Ketu, right? March 21 to April 12 was Ketu.
no, answer because we have to switch.
We probably switch the starting point. Shift the shift. So Ketu gave the ending. So why? Forget about functional nature and all that. Learn the new, apply the new knowledge. First of all, he is on the axis of second 8th house. Second 8th house axis, right? Basically, 8th house contains all these planets, Saturn, Mars, Rahu, etc. Ketu is basically part of that gang. Basically, 4 matrix on the 8th house axis. Not only that, it is specifically end of marriage is a tangible event. So AA. Where is AA? Who owns AA?
Mars.
Mars, and not only Mars.
Mars
Co-owner.
and Ketu.
Co-owner was who?
Ketu. And it is
Ketu.
Ketu spirit.
So A co-owner is Ketu. So that is the thing. And he is in the, which house is he in? 16 degrees he is the A8 and he is at 23 degrees. So he is in the 11th house. So A8 Lord in the 11th house from A8. Is a good or bad placement? Well, any planet in the 11th house from an Arudha will
Promote that Arudha.
promote that like anything. Moreover, if the Lord himself is in the 11th, nothing like it. We have seen that earlier for a positive event house. This is a negative event. So A8 Lord in the 11th from A8, done. And moreover, he is affected by all these planets in the 8th house. So there is a link with the 8th house also. So based on this, if the can give the end of marriage. So that is when the husband and wife were basically separated. They started living separately. Okay. So basically, bottom line is things are kind of adding up. So we can basically leave this. Let us make the future prediction. Let us look at, oh, you know what? His birthday is coming, has recently come. So let's make 2011 fine. 2010 is future. Let's see 2011 chart. Do we see any powerful combinations for marriage? Now the thing is, what we really need to look for is UL, the seventh
Birthday
house,
is over, right? His
11th.
birthday was 2 months back. Last month.
Yeah, it's over. That's why we are looking at 2011.
Yeah.
Okay? That. Ah, gosh. Lagna is on a quarter. 42 seconds earlier, so we weren't confident of our expectation, right? We only wanted Lagna to be in Varkotma so that we can use Shatabdi Lagna. But the thing is, if you shift it by another minute, it will still be in Libra, but in the sense of being in the second degree of Libra, it will be in the first degree of Libra. You eventually don't know for sure, right? So, the Lagna in Rashi is at the beginning of Tarak, this could be Aries also. The Lagna in Navamsa is at the beginning of Ketugan, this could be Sagittarius.
Sagittarius also.
And we have no way to really be very confident. Because the events we saw, the Sadhika chart, the natal Navamsa, the Sadhika Navamsa, nothing was on kind of water. So the thing is, for this year, making any prediction based on how Kartika chart is useless. So give up.
So bottom line.
There's no point in even trying. Let us look at next year. So bottom line is, all we can say is this year has a possibility of marriage based on the natal dasha.
No, but natal this also we noticed that it's only in the second half of 2012.
2012 second half has a better
Because
figure.
moon,
Even moon also may give
May
marriage.
give
It has
marriage,
to be
you
dual
said.
and
Right,
non-dual.
right.
But the thing is, we may or may not. Right. We have some chance. Unfortunately, we wanted to confirm it either positively or negatively using the Kartika chart.
But
And
with
this Kartika
2011
chart is-
doesn't help.
we are not able to make sense of this Kartika chart.
in Gandam.
Not Gandanta.
Zero
Some
degrees
water.
Saturday.
And the thing is, I just made a prashna because current year chart is not really helpful. I made a prashna saying, will marriage happen very soon?
Hmm.
I just made a prashna for now. And the thing is, Lagna is Sagittarius at 25 degrees 33 minutes. This is July 11, 2011, 8:23:43 p.m. 4 hours first of GMT. The south graph, not south graph the Lawrence, but it should probably not like that.
It's okay, right? Because it is pretty
Yeah, it's very
close.
good. Lowell match is 71 degree 19 minutes west and 42 degree 38 minutes north. So, Lagna should be 25 degree 33 minutes Sagittarius. So, in the Rashi chart, we'll just use the Rashi chart in the Prashna. In the Rashi chart, the Lagna contains Rahu is but he is far away from Lagna and he is going away from Lagna. See, Rahu in Lagna shows problems, but he is away from Lagna and he is separating from God. He is going further away. He is going into the 12th house. If he is not already in the 12th house, that's not house separating. So, Rahu is not really much of a problem. And the 7th house contains
Venus Sun Ketu, which is
Sun Venus Ketu combination. And quantitatively analyzing, Sun Venus are close. Ketu is far away, we don't care. But Sun Venus are close. It is combustion of Sun Venus.
Venus.
The Venus is combustion. And moreover, this is a combination of 6th and 9th lords. This is not a powerful combination. This is a Duryoga. So there is a Duryoga in the 7th house. And the 7th lord, where is he? He is in the
8th house.
8th house. 8th house. 7th lord in the 8th house. Again, not really a great combination placement. But for Mercury, 8th house is not really a bad.
Right.
So overall, things are average. And let's look at UL. Mary is UL in the
10th house.
Huh?
Will is in 10th. We will go.
UL is in the 10th house. And what is the longitude of UL? 5 degree Virgo. So Saturn is in Lagna. Even though he is far away, he is still in first house from Lagna. So UL contains Saturn. So that is basically, that shows the tangible event of marriage may have some delay. So bottom line is, there is a decent chance that even though we are unable to have clarity of vision in this year's Karika chart, probably it may not be this year. So let us switch to next year's chart. 2012 Karika chart. Hopefully this won't be an quarter. Well, this is an Gandanta. Lagna is in Cancer Gandanta in Rashi chart. But the thing is, we are not concerned. Oh, wow. So we are not concerned about Rashi, but we are concerned about the Navamsha. In Navamsha, how are things? In Navamsha, 5 degree Pisces rises, and Lagna contains Jupiter at 10 degrees, Mercury at 25 degrees, Venus at 15 degrees. So Jupiter, Mercury and Venus are together in Lagna. Well, there are neutral planets. None of them is a great benefit. Actually, Venus is even a malefic.
Third and yeah.
But the thing is, Venus is the Karaka for marriage, Mercury is the 7th lord, Jupiter is the Lagna lord. So 7th lord, Lagna lord and Karaka are together in the first house. They are in Lagna. So moreover, where is Jewel? It's a 10 degree Cancer. So they are all in the 9th house from Jewel. So 9th from Jewel is well placed. All this Rajoga between the Lagna Lord and 7th Lord relating to marriage is occurring in the 9th from UL, and UL itself is strong,
Yes.
very strong. UL Lord is in UL itself, very close to the longitude actually. So when UL Lord is in UL, it is very like his dasha making marriage probably. So moreover, he is a benefit from Lagna. Now what dasha applies in this chart? 7th Lord is in Lagna. So I think 7th lord in Lagna is not really, is actually almost in the second house. So let's not take that. What are the other conditions? Lagna Lord and Rahu are not in quarter strike. And Lagna is not in 10th Lord not in 10th, 10th Lord not in 7th. So we will just use the standard Vishwatri Shortasotri. It is Krishna Paksha, Chandra Hora. So Shortasotri is that. Okay? So Shortasotri is that of Navamsa. The first likely candidate is Jupiter, because he is affecting UL and also his Lagna Lord in Lagna.
Yep.
Jupiter Dasha is August September 2012.
And he is also dispositor of AL. So you can give him a new beginning.
Yeah. Marital status. AL is marital status. A new marital status. So Jupiter Dasha is a strong candidate for this. He affects 7th house. He is with 7th Lord. He is affecting UL and UL Lord. Okay. So Jupiter Dasha is a strong candidate, and again Moon Dasha is a strong candidate. End of next year and beginning of 2013, January, February candidate. So that is a strong candidate. So Mercury also, basically after that Mercury will come. So basically December 19, 2012 till 30 March 2013. So that is a great period, Moon and Mercury Dasha. And before that Jupiter Dasha is also a great period. So my prediction would be, though there is some chance during this year, our techniques failures for current year and the first half of next year, but we do see a strong chance in the second half of next year. Probably August, September 2012 has a strong chance. So that is when I would suggest. I mean, you can keep looking, but that is when I predict they can be recommended. And one thing is, take time and don't be in a haste, because Mars is in UL. There may be a tendency to be hasty in decisions later to manage. So take time and don't rush to marriage. It is important to find the right partner in which there is a delay in the native. And it is definitely a great idea to worship Vishnu or Venkateshwara. Okay. Actually, just chanting Lakshmi Ashtotram and Vishnu Ashtotram also is very good. Venkateshwara is also good, but just Lakshmi Ashtotram and Vishnu. Lakshmi Ashtotram, Vishnu. Lakshmi Ashtotram, Vishnu. Lakshmi Ashtotram, Vishnu. In that order, basically. As many times as we have first Lakshmi Ashtotram, then Vishnu. And repeat that pattern. That will be very important. But the pattern may be complex accepted by Vishnu. So the Rajoga in the Navamsa will fructify. And the thing is, using simple common sense, Rajoga is involving 8th house. The Saturn in the natal Navamsa, Yokarka, Saturn and 9th Lord Mercury are in the 8th house, and Lagna Lord Venus is affecting them very closely. Within 3 degrees, that was the time is powerful Rajoga. And we said Saturn Venus period will give the marriage. Now the important thing is, this powerful Rajoga suggests that there will be a happy marriage overall. But the thing is, Rajogas involving 8th house will take a lot of effort. They happen after a lot of you put effort or you go through some suffering. And it may also be that they happen late in life. That is why they say some practical systems are Rajogas in the 8th house will occur late in life. If you have a powerful Rajoga, let's say Lagna Lord and 10th Lord, Lagna Lord, 6th Lord, 6th Lord, 9th Lord, 6th Lord, 10th Lord, let's say they are together in 8th house. That Rajoga will make you stand up late in life. That is what they say in classical tradition. So here, happiness in life marital life may come in late. So so further to happen earlier, it is a great idea to worship Vishnu and Lakshmi. Lakshmi Ashtotram, Vishnu. Any other comments you have?
Lakshmi Ashtotram, Vishnu Sahasranam.
Lakshmi Ashtotram, Vishnu. Now the thing is, we haven't started using Karakas yet. We will start later. But the thing is, you will see once we start using the Karakas in this natal chart, you will see that the Atmakaraka and Darakaraka are mutual Shashtastrakas in the Navamsa.
Atmakaraka and?
Atmakaraka Jupiter and Darakaraka Sun. So look at longitude. Sun is at 0 degree 11 minutes, so he is Darakaraka. And the Atmakaraka is Jupiter at 27 degrees 17 minutes. You can so they have Jupiter in Pisces and Sun in Libra. They are mutual Shashtastra. And the longitude also, if you see 1.5 degree, 5.5 degree, so which is 4 degrees. So it is a very close Shashtastra. So Sun Jupiter being in visual Shashtrashtaka, means basically Atmanartha Tarakatha and Shashtrashtaka means at the soul level basically. There is a fundamental problem linked to marriage. So that is another factor that is there as far as marriage is concerned. So there are some weaknesses in the marriage. So all these things, irrespective of other factors, and some weaknesses are there, like age is possible, the age large is there, or the beta large. So all these factors basically become strengthened by this kind of thing. So worshipping, doing some remedy for marital smooth marriage is a good idea. So Lakshmi Ashtakam Vishwasnam we must do every day or every Saturday, every Wednesday, every Friday. So good luck to you. All the best. Thank you. Any other comments you have on this chart? Anything you see? Any interesting observation?
So we can suggest him
Yeah.
Fasting on UL on Rasi, which is in as per this. Of course, this we have to go by natal, not by Tajika.
Yeah, near
Natal. Any other comments?
actually is Gurumangala Yoga is there.
In the
In
Datamsha?
the Nam, sorry, in the natal.
In the natal Rasi.
Natal
Rasi. That is a good yoga.
Gurumangala Yoga in 4th house.
Lagnala and Shishna to the good yoga. So it shows some kind of thing. The physical level, there will be some recognition of people will be recognizing. And is it because of career, is it because of spirituality, is it because of knowledge? We have to see the individual charts to draw the conclusion. It may be career, but the Datamsha also has a possible combination. The thing is, you have to see various charts for that. I think that's a good combination. Fourth house is very powerful. Any other questions, comments you want to make?
So we'll see other charts, other division charts of this person.
Yeah, you can see other division charts and see if there is anything interesting that you see, and then we can discuss. So why don't you do that?
I can ask him in case he has any question. Any specific questions, Kana? Ante children, it will take time to look at. I don't think we'll be able to go there right now, I think. But marriage will be towards the end of for the time that you heard. And any other specific question on the marriage? Next year. Only. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Like update, class is not over next year. Actually, we can see.
Will she be?
He wants children.
He wants to know if the children would be
Yeah,
there. And
we see that.
he was keen to say one thing. Will the incoming lady, will she be a divorcee or will be married?
Okay.
Is it possible to see that?
We see, it will be mostly speculation. Tell him that it will be mostly speculation. We are not good enough astrologers to do that. Maybe Parashara is willing, maybe we will have more knowledge later than we can.
But in the sign of thing, they have Saturn is the one giving, so how we see
Will-
that Saturn means traditional and like that, right? Venus means long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you won't know whether it's a divorcee or unmarried.
See the way. See how, see, seventh from here, according to tradition again, this is not really confirmed with God of church. This is just in the word speculation. If you want to see something about what kind of circumstances, in what kind of circumstances wife comes, you see the seventh house from Venus. So if you see the seventh from Venus, it has Saturn and Mercury. So the thing is, wife will be either mercurial or Saturnine. That is basically what you say. Or, and the thing is, we don't know much about the first wife. What kind of a wife is the first wife? Is she knowledgeable? Is she logical? Is she...
You said Saturn and Mercury?
Yeah, in the seventh from Venus in the Ravamsa.
Seventh from Venus in Navamsa. Maybe I think I got off somewhere because I don't, it's blank.
Huh?
No,
There's nobody.
From Venus. From Venus.
From Venus in Navamsa. Sorry,
Got
okay.
it.
Okay, right. Yeah, okay. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, Mercury can show one wife, Saturn can show one wife, and Mercury can show Mercurian kind of a somebody who is Mercury is very unpredictable, right? Somebody who is very maybe logical.
Does it have any effect on the retrograde part of the
Pardon?
Does it have any effect on the retrograde of the Mercury in this case?
It may. Retrograde Mercury may show somebody who is unpredictable, somebody who is erratic. And Saturn may show somebody who is very. Saturn can show either traditional and orthodox. It can also show, Saturn can show somebody lowly or something undesirable. Right? Saturn is a servant. So, or ward. Saturn can show ward. So, if you are talking about somebody who is already married, a widower, if you are marrying a widow or widower, culturally, especially in Indian culture, basically things are based on physical path, right? Considered to be slightly undesirable compared to marrying somebody who is not married to somebody else. So that could be shown by Saturn. Saturn can show, especially Saturn is giving the wife. He can show something undesirable. So it may be a divorce. But the thing is, we don't have a clear way to say. We don't have even a clear way to see both the marriages. Let us see the what are we on?
Children, D7.
Children, D7. So he asked about children. How is the area of children? First of all, Dasha will be mature, Disaptava Samadasha, because 7th Lord is in Dasha Venus. So use the Disaptava Samadasha of D7. That should be clear. Because Lagna is so close to Venus, so I don't see a reason to use some other Dasha.
But you see the children for the, not the second wife. Basically, you're looking at children.
Yeah, you're looking at children.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, you're not looking in continent.
I just saw which Dasha you want to see. Seventh Lord in Lagna, so Disaptava Samadasha. Now, how do you see the children? Where do you see the children?
This is
Before you do that, let's not go there, basically first, second wife, first child, second wife, second child, and try to say something about this. Let's not do that. Let's basically see the substance as a chart. So, irrespective of which wife, basically children are children. So, Lagna should be strong, fifth should be strong, and functional basics should be strong. The Karaka house is fifth. So, Lagna contains Venus. And Venus is a neutral planet or slightly malefic planet. So, Lagna is afflicted, slightly afflicted. Then, Lagna Lord, how is he? He is in 11th house. 11th house is a good placement. Well, for Lagna Lord, 11th is a good placement because he will be aspecting 6th house from there. Especially for Mars, 3, 6, 7 are good houses.
3, 6, 7.
So, he is one of the good houses for him as a planet and also as the Lagna Lord. So, Lagna Lord is well placed. The only thing is, he is not in a friendly house, but at least he is not an enemy. He is a neutral planet for Saturn. If you look at the relationship between Mars and Saturn, he is a neutral planet. Right? Mars is a neutral planet. So actually, he is a neutral planet in general, and here, based on the placement, because they are in mutual 3rd and 11th houses, he is a friend. So he is temporarily a friend, permanently a neutral planet. So overall, he is a Mitra. So Mars, Lagna Lord is in a friendly sign in the 11th house, well placed. So Lagna is basically strong. But the 5th has to be strong. By the 9th, part 2, how is 9th? 9th is restricted by malefic Saturn. But 9th Lord is powerful, a quadrant from 9th in most signs. So fortune is there. Jupiter is giving fortune. Mars is
disposal of A5 or split.
Yes, A5 is containing Jupiter. A5 is B7. A5 is where is A5? 11 degree 5. And Jupiter is at 20 degree.
No, A5 is in Sagittarius.
No, A5 is in.
A5
is in Pisces.
Pisces.
Some
A5 is
services, maybe my timing is wrong.
Yeah. If Lagna is slightly off, the exception will trigger into speed. Either way, he is basically A5 Lord is in both sides. He is very strong. Lagna is basically you because you use the beta 7.51. Lagna longitude is slightly off. So triggering off the exception. Okay. So A5 Jupiter are very close. So Jupiter is a very powerful planet. Jupiter is the one who is blessing with children. Secondly, how is Sun? The 5th Lord. How is 5th house? 5th house is watched by Mercury and Mars. You look at the 5th house, right?
Yeah.
In B7.
And Mercury is disposal of Sun.
Mercury is basically a malefic. Malefic, Mercury at 20 degree and benefic Mars at 18 degree. They are aspecting the 5th house pretty closely. So Mercury's aspect is bad, but at least Mars aspect is there. And so overall, the fifth house is neutral. And then let us look at the fifth Lord Sun. He is in the third house, and from fifth house he is in the 11th house. Fifth Lord in the 11th from fifth.
That to Dwadasha Aditya. That to 11th, Sun in 11th.
Sun 11th is good.
Pretty good.
For Sun, 3, 6, 11 are good houses to be. And for any house Lord, 11th from that is a good house to be. So overall, Sun as the fifth Lord as well as a planet, Sun being placed there is a good placement. So the bottom line is, we see that whether he is on the cusp of the 11th house from the fifth house. So anyway, so Sun, Mars and Jupiter are the ones blessing with children in this particular chart. And Dasha, let us see. Unfortunately, the Dasha that will be running will be Dasha based on Dasha,
Saturn.
Saturn Dasha. Can Saturn give a child?
Saturn is not a strong character.
He is with A5, so there is a likelihood,
Yeah.
but
He is a male kid. So
He is not
basically,
huh? Oh, nice chart.
yeah,
Okay, he's
you
not
don't
with
get,
A5.
you don't get
Yeah,
a right? So he's not really showing getting children or anything like that. So Saturn Dasha is not a conducive Dasha. But the thing is, because the chart itself has potential, it will happen. The only thing is, the Dasha doesn't seem to be working. Let us, I'm not sure what is the right Dasha to use. Dasha should ideally apply. Only thing is, Venus is not in a friendly sign. But still, 7th Lord in Lagna, the Dasha should apply. So let us just use Dasha. And by the way, Vimshottari Dasha will always apply, irrespective of which other Dasha apply. So let's quickly see Vimshottari. At least as per Vimshottari, is a good Dasha running in the next few years. That's what I want to see. Okay? So Sun Dasha, based on Vimshottari, Sun Dasha will be running from 2013 January, just simple Vimshottari Dasha of Sun, of the 7th. 2013 January to 2018. So that's good. So a favorable Dasha is running from 2013. So 2013-14 there is a chance of children. Charadasha, let us see. How is Charadasha? Charadasha of the 7th. Charadasha of the 7th. That's, oh God, okay. Charadasha of the 7th, what is the Dasha running right now?
This is Cancer, so you're almost over, right?
The Leo Dasha is almost over. So Leo Dasha
Leo started.
Huh?
Leo started.
Leo started. Cancer is
Oh yeah, Leo started. But the thing is, it will be over in 2030.
Right.
So Leo Dasha, there is a chance of childbirth. So soon after marriage, there is a chance of childbirth. So Leo Dasha has a strong chance. Based on Vimshottari Dasha of the 7 as well as Charadasha of the 7. So there is a chance. They can go for it. And then, can Virgo give child? Can Virgo give a child? Yes, absolutely. Why? Now the thing is, we have
in the 11th house.
No.
Huh.
The important, apart from house, Arudabada,
Oh.
A5 is the one that gives child. And Parashara basically said how Arudabada are the 7th from it. Everywhere Parashara said Arudabada are the 7th from it. Any planet who aspects or occupies it can give that Arudabada. So 7th from any Arudabada is important for him, that Arudabada. Here, 7th from A5 is Virgo. And Virgo Dasha can give the result of A5. So this is something that we weren't using earlier. That is why in some cases, some events didn't make sense using Dasha. So Arudabada can also be used in Dasha, apart from just houses and planets. So Virgo Dasha also there is a chance. So bottom line is, until 2020 there is a powerful chance. And let us see the transit. In 2013, let's say April 2013. Because then Leo Dasha will be running and Jupiter will be transiting Taurus. It's not really that strong. Let us say after 2013 Virgo Dasha will start. So during that Virgo Dasha, when Jupiter is exalted or Jupiter is exalted in aspect in 6th house, or when Jupiter is in Taurus, December, let's say December 2013. So Jupiter has already moved. So if Jupiter is still in Taurus and aspecting Virgo, after Virgo has started, basically in the second half of 2013, then there is a chance of child. And secondly, Cancer Jupiter transit has a very good chance. So my prediction will be probably 2014 time period when Jupiter will be transiting Cancer and aspect exalted and aspect in fifth house. That is a strong chance. The other transit will be Jupiter in Virgo. So 2013-14 has a chance of childbirth.
Yep.
But the bottom line is, overall the next few years seem very promising for childbirth. So good luck.
Thank you.
And further, what is the good remedy for childbirth here?
Santana Gopal.
In general that is, but here specifically, who is the planet?
Jupiter.
Jupiter is a key planet, but Sun is the fifth lord, and his dasha is running based on geometry of Sankara. So, for Sun, Aditya Hridayam. So chanting Aditya Hridayam 3 times every day is a sankalpa of childbirth. First, let him get married. This is answer. After marriage, if and when he gets married, every day, if he chants Aditya Hridayam 3 times, it will just take like 10 minutes once you get to it, 10-15 minutes. Every day in the morning, take bath, Aditya Hridayam 3 times. Say sankalpa, I want a good child, a strong son in the chart. I want a strong son with strong Surya Bala, strong solar strength. Take the sankalpa, Aditya Hridayam 3 times every day. If he does that for maybe a year or